I'm marking up some 10-foot 4/4 boards of Katalox. It'll become this 36-inch dining table with a tapered bevel on the bottom edge. Having a 3D model of a project like this is such a huge help, because it just helps me figure out dimensions and cuts and layouts and things, but it also lets me preview my work in augmented reality, so I can see a design and decide on shapes and sizes and things before I commit to anything. Once I'm confident that I have enough wood for this project, the boards get planed down to the same thickness, then cut down to length with the miter saw. And their edges cleaned up at the jointer. Now they fit together into a nice blank panel to cut a circle from. But before I do that, this panel needs assembled. So I'm cutting domino mortises in each board so they can be fit together with dominoes. This helps keep the boards perfectly aligned even if they're not perfectly flat. Not sure why I'm lifting it up here, just checking that the wood is still heavy. Still heavy? Cool, alright, good work. In that case, it's time to glue this panel up. I had never worked with Katalox before, but I was paranoid that wood glue wouldn't adhere to it well for some reason, so I cleaned these edges with acetone and used a pretty liberal amount of glue, and it seemed to work just fine. Okay, almost there. Let's just get one perfect shot of all of these boards coming together nicely. And that's it. This is a good shot, man. That's real good work. When the panel had dried, I used a hand router on this pivoting jig to cut out a nice circle. With how hard this wood is and how relatively small this router is, I was kind of dreading that this wouldn't go well, but with several shallow passes, it went off without a hitch. This leaves a nearly perfect circle, but with a flat edge. So now to bevel the bottom. My original plan was to use the router on that same jig to route these steps into the edge that I could then sand smooth. I've seen other people do this and it seems to work really well, but for whatever reason I just could not figure it out. I abandoned this idea once I started routing into the dominoes and figured that I should quit while I'm ahead. Instead, I turned to the turbo orbital sander and elbow grease to just grind down that bottom edge, more or less freehand. With any other wood, I think this would have been fairly easy, but this Katalox is so hard that it's took me hours. Eventually though, I got what I was after with this smooth slope in from the edge. After some final sanding up through 220 grit, I finished it with some tung oil finish. I originally planned on a much darker stain, something closer to an ebony look, but I changed my mind when I saw how the tung oil looks, and I'm really glad I did. The tung oil did leave some spots kind of blotchy though, so I brushed on a final coat of polyurethane. This is General Finish's high performance flat top coat, which gives it exactly the sheen that I want. I'd like to think that this table will be around for a long time, so I'll sign my work with something that has some staying power.